What's up, everybody? It is early in the morning and I'm in my truck driving to Illinois. It is another new bike video. Not necessarily a bike for the channel. It will be on the channel, but I am picking up another motorcycle for my father, and I'm hoping in this video on the way home, it's a little out of the way, but I'm going through Champaign, Illinois, which is the home of one of our FXR Tour Builders for this year. He is on Instagram as Polly Bacon Fingers, and he is building a super rad FXR chop and doing some crazy stuff that I have never seen done before. If everything goes right, I should be able to pick this motorcycle up. I still got I've been on the road now since 5 o'clock in the morning. I still got another 7 hours, 15 minutes to go. So arrival time about 2:35. I'm gonna have to stop obviously and fuel up, eat. So maybe about 2:45, and hopefully it doesn't take too long to load the bike. And then I think he is about another 2.5 hours back south. Not doing a full documentary of it or nothing like that, so I don't want you thinking I'm gonna go and do all the FXR Tour Builders, but I definitely have a few in mind that I'm going to try to pull off this summer and at least get you guys a little more insight in the FXR Tour and some of the builders. If you don't know what the FXR Tour is, it's a little event that Justin created a few years ago. I had the privilege of being able to help him kind of, I don't want to say marketing, but the promotion of it, or promoting it with Instagram and producing the flyers and things like that. So I get to have a lot of fun, watch these builders create something super cool, and then ride alongside them while we do the 1,000-mile ride back to Born Free, Texas. Definitely want to check that out. It's on Instagram, FXR Tour_official, if you want to see all 10 builders. Later on, probably in the next month or so, I'll actually list the route and all that kind of stuff, but the destination's the same, Born Free, Texas. I'm excited, hope you guys are too. So I'm gonna put the camera back down, pick it up if anything cool happens, and if not, we'll see you guys in Sycamore, Illinois to see what my dad purchased this time. Made it out here to Sycamore, Illinois. This right over here, this gentleman over here, his name is Brian. Saw this bike on Facebook Marketplace for Dad, sent it over to him, and obviously just like everything, he had to have it. So I'm gonna turn the camera around. I'm sure you guys have already made the guesses in the comments based on the first video of the bad boy when my dad was on there, what this bike is, but let me show you guys what it is, and then we'll kind of go over the plan for the bike and get a little history from Brian of like the time that he's owned it, and we'll kind of go from there. So you guessed it, 96 bad boy, black and yellow. This was the bike that Dad said if he was to ever replace the black and red one that we just picked up, this is what he would want. So he's had a few of these black and yellow ones. I've actually had 2 of these black and yellows. Both of my black and yellows are now in Japan. This bike should, according to my dad, stay with him for the rest of his life. We will see if he'll hold true to that. He's getting older, these things are getting harder to find, so he may stay true to that word, but the bike's all there. This thing's only got 12, let's see, pops up there, 12,324 miles, so still super low mileage, actually probably the lowest mileage bad boy that we've owned in the past maybe 2 decades. It's gonna need a little cleaning up, just like the black and red one, but unlike the black and red one, this motor is really clean. I can just get in there, give it a little wash, a little shine, and this thing's gonna clean up real good. This air cleaner lid's got a couple little issues, but I actually have another air cleaner lid. We're gonna get rid of the floorboards, put the factory foot pegs and everything back on it, but other than that, this bike's gonna stay pretty stock. I mean, just look at how nice the head bolts still are on this thing. Everything just looks really nice. A couple little chips in the paint, nothing too big, you know, a couple little scratches that we should be able to clean up. But we're gonna give this thing the same treatment that we're giving the red one. Yeah, still got the grab handle, which is, a lot of people take those things off and lose them over the years. So got the original turn signals. License plate mounting isn't all mangled up, everything's nice on that. So overall, I think Dad's gonna be super stoked on this thing. Should clean up real well and be a great bike. This is Brian, the gentleman that we're purchasing it from. You said you've had it now for
about 14 years.
14 years, yeah. And you're, who had
brother-in-law.
My brother-in-law.
Brother-in-law had it and didn't ride it, so I bought it from him.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I couldn't ride it. I got it with about 5,000 on it. It's only got 12,000 now.
Yeah. So, and he had it for how many years?
He had it for about 3 years.
So 17 years has been in your family,
Yep.
and y'all put
about 10, yep.
Yeah, 10,000 miles. So you said it came from Wisconsin, so the sticker on the oil cap is probably the original dealership,
Yes.
more or less? Hell yeah.
Yep.
So what's nice about it, when you know the original dealerships that these bikes come from, you can actually call the dealership, and most of them, if they're still in existence, can backtrack and get you like the original owner's information, the delivery date, and all that kind of stuff. So I've had luck with some of the other bikes. I'll have to look up and see if that dealership's still in existence. But no, the bikes, you kept it in great shape. A lot of times, Harleys in general, people like to personalize them.
Change
We'll use that word.
Yeah.
We'll say personalize them. But they'll go in there and they'll add, you know, stuff that was cool at that time but might not be cool now. And luckily, this bike has stayed pretty stock for the most part.
Yeah, I like the way it looks. I don't have any reason to change it.
Exactly. The floorboards and the saddlebags are really the only two things, and both those are easy fixes. We're going to still head over to Paul's shop, check out his FXR Tour build. I think it's about 2.5 hours from here, so we should be there in about 3 hours. But when I get back in the truck, I'm going to get on the camera and let you guys know what the next plan is. All right. We are an hour and 45 minutes away. We still got about another 120 miles to get to Polly's shop or his house. I think his shop is at his house. He sent me an address, so we're 120 miles away for that. I think I won't be home until like 2 in the morning. So I left out this morning at 5. I'll be home at 2. It is what it is. We got another bad boy, so yay. All right, we'll pick up here when we get to Polly's. We made it here in basically Champaign.
Yeah, just outside of Champaign.
Champaign.
Might
So
as well be.
what's really cool about Champaign is I've been tattooed by Tattoo Tilt.
Oh yeah.
From Champaign New Life Tattoo. I've never been tattooed in Champaign from him, but at conventions and at our old shop, he was good friends with my mentor and would come through. So I got quite a few Tattoo Tilt.
He's a pretty talented guy.
Oh yeah, and his history. If you want to learn anything about tattooing, him and Dana Brunson are like the gurus. They got so much books and flash and old machines and just a lot of cool stuff. But all right, we're getting sidetracked. We're in Champaign, Illinois, and Paul, how do you say your last name?
Schanbacher.
All right, I wasn't even going to try to attempt that. I mess up regular simple words. But like I said, he is one of the 10 builders for this year's FXR Tour. And since I was coming through the area anyways, I thought it just makes sense to come by, check the bike out, which I'm super glad I did, because there's a lot of really cool stuff that you don't get to see easily on Instagram. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn the camera around. I'm gonna let him just kind of talk about it, show what he has, what his plans are to still go with it, and then hopefully motivate you guys to show up to Texas and see this thing in person, because this thing's gonna be, it's gonna be badass. I can already tell. I'm seeing a lot of stuff on this that I've never seen before, and it's super cool. So let's turn around. We'll let him talk about it.
Man, where to start with this thing? My whole goal with this was to kind of keep some of the FXR feel alive. I ended up bringing this. I've got down tubes were brought up 3.5 inches. I brought the neck out and the backbone 1 inch. It's stock rake at 28 degrees. This here was a vision that I had in my head kind of from the get-go. It's kind of tough to get this one all figured out. I'm glad I ended up pressing through and doing this, because I'm really happy with this double tube tie-in. I ended up using a lot of 1/2 inch tube on this. Just kind of, I don't know if you want to call it a theme or what, but I wanted to do something different that you really don't see every day. So my goal here was to kind of recreate, you know, that curved undersection of the FXR frame, and then gusset everything in here. X bracing is obviously extremely strong, so this top stabilizer mount ends up, I tried to tie in angles and make everything look all kind of cohesive throughout the whole frame. This really ties in with, I got some of those billet clean moto side covers that go in here. The whole kind of V and X look throughout there. X-braced down low and got rid of all the factory stuff. Ended up, I'm building a swing arm for it. I got the majority of that done. I've still got to do, it'll end up having an under bracing on it. I'll get that all figured out once the engine and trans are back in and I can figure out chain clearance. But that's kind of the frame in a nutshell. Got an S&SP 124 going in it. Delcron transmission case, all the internals, everything was built by Harley at 77 cycles. Yeah, I'm still not positive on which frame I'm gonna, or sorry, which tank I'm gonna end up running. I got a couple different ideas there. I'm gonna hand build an oil tank.
You got a little X bracing up here as well. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, ended up, I cut this and put a half-inch tube across the bottom, and then ran some tubes down there just as a little bit of extra support. Still got to metal finish this guy out a little better.
Yeah, there's a lot of like cool little tricks to this thing. That's what I was saying earlier. Like, it's just, you don't get to see all this in like a still photo. So I'm hoping it shows in the video exactly how trick this really is. Because man, this right here, I mean, I don't know if that really makes any sense in the video, but that double up bar there is going to be super sick. And you said the seat will just stay here and you'll still see these bars?
I'm going to end up building a seat pan in here, so this will stay exposed. Seat pan will sit inside here, and that's kind of to keep the seat at a little more of a narrow, low profile look.
Yeah, I love that. That's super cool.
Yeah, it'll end up being it's a 6-over front end. I think it's going to end up being 14-inch rear shocks. Swing arm ends up being, it's like touring length, so I can't remember exactly what's that, about 1.5 inches longer than a factory FXR
somewhere in that ballpark.
Got a couple other things in the works for it. I guess we'll see where they end up. Hopefully I got enough time, man. I feel like time's clicking away faster than I can build stuff. So
it's happening fast, but I will tell you right now, every builder in the past FXR tours were probably at this point, if not further behind.
I was kind of looking back at other people's stuff recently. That's kind of where
you're good friends with Kyron and Justin from last year's tour, and I don't think they were. I don't think they were any further. If you go through their phone and look at photos and ask them to like timestamp them, I'm sure they're about this same point.
Yeah, I think Kyron's going to come over here and do my wiring.
There you go. Yeah, he's a wiring. he's the nerd. Yeah, for sure. So you do have the transmission already. You showed me that.
Delta
and you said this was who again?
Harley at 77 cycles. He's actually, I grew up around this guy. He grew up around me, whichever way you want to look at it, years ago, full circle. Now he's got his own shop and he's doing a lot of badass transmission stuff. So
yeah, I noticed the first time I noticed his brand was honestly with Kyron and Justin's bikes last year. So I know both of them were running it, and they've obviously been beating on it. Both of them got powerful bikes and they seem to hold up great. And no issues. So
I've got one in my lowrider here too. I haven't had a chance to put a ton of miles on it, but about 500 miles or so on that one. That's actually one of his early ones before he started powder coating it. So I had that powder coated by my buddies over at Champagne Coatings. 500 or so miles on it. That thing shifts like butter. It's great.
So you got the trans, you got the motor. We just showed the motor a little bit.
SS 124. Got a what? I'm gonna end up running a super. What's that? A Super G on it.
Is that the one you just picked up from Rad Parts? Or?
Yeah, Dwayne. Yeah.
I wish I could get out to his place. I like to see his stuff. He's got
he's
a cool
out in
stash
North Charlotte.
Yeah, North Carolina, so out that way. So it'd be cool to see his stash of stuff. But I noticed another little stash of goodies over there. Some chrome bling.
Yeah. SMT. I think they're the 14 retro specs. So they're made to look like the old BMX Skyway mags. 13-inch rotors on it.
What size are you doing on the rear? Wheel-wise?
Wheel-wise, 18. I want the bike to look kind of tall, narrow, not do anything too wide on the rear. I'm going to run Yamaha R6 radial calipers on that. And,
is it going to have a full inverted front end setup? Or
no, I'm going to do 39. I've got a 39 millimeter, so it's not going to be anything too crazy as that for that, unless there's one thing, hopefully we can fit it in. There's one thing we might do to change that front end up a little bit. So
yeah, these are some super clean wheels. SMT, I mean, a lot of their wheels are just.
That's the first set I've owned, and man, I'm super happy with them. So
we had a local guy in our area that was a SMT dealer, and he there's quite a few bikes in our town that are running them, and they seem to hold up great and look great. And I know Kyron and them, they worked a deal with them a couple years back, so they got
custom
some
wheels cut by them.
Man, the frame blown away, and obviously all this was just done here in the shop. There's your little frame jig over there.
Yeah, between this and the stuff I've got at work, this is where I've done it all so far. when it comes to some sheet metal stuff, I'll probably go over to my previous employer over at BBT Fabrications and get, he's got a lot of sheet metal tools. So he's
Like the English wheels and
English
hammers
wheel,
and all that stuff.
plenishing
Yeah.
hammer, pole max, all that kind of stuff, shrinker, stretcher. So when it comes to redoing the rear fender, I'm going to put on this some tank modifications and.
So all that's you're not necessarily just going to have bolt-on stuff like everything.
No.
You're touching everything on this
I don't
bike.
think anything on this is going to be bolt-on, except I can't think of any.
You were showing me even on the Clean Moto side covers, they're not even bolt-on anymore. Now
Right.
you're going to have to
modify those
Yeah.
a little bit. And,
That's cool.
yeah, there's just about nothing.
Like I said, I was in the area. I just definitely wanted to stop by. I honestly have never met Paul until...
Yeah, this is the first time
Yeah,
we
this is the
met
first
in
time I've
person,
met.
so.
He did the exhaust. The first time I even heard his name really mentioned. I kind of seen his tag on social media and stuff, but the first time I saw or actually seen his work in person was he did the super loud and super short pipe for Kyron's bike last year.
Actually, I need to send it out. I got it in a box in the back of my truck. I built a baffle for that. So.
Thank you. I think everybody will thank you. His neighbors and everyone that rides beside him. So he did the pipe for that bike, and it was super cool. When it comes to exhaust, there's a lot of exhaust companies out there, and I feel like the rear pipe and the front pipe, they don't go together. You know what I mean? Like the bends, like this one might be a little more round and this one's more boxy, or I don't know. There's just something about them they don't seem to jive. But that pipe really, really did like blend nicely. Yeah, it looked good. So super clean. But I'm gonna get on the road because I still got like 7 or 8 hours to get home.
Thanks for stopping by.
No, thank you for letting me come in here and nitpick this thing and look at it. I'm glad I did it because, like I said, photos to video, totally different. Like seeing it in person, and this thing is.
I'll get better about posting some stuff as it.
No, you're doing great. I mean, you post up every Friday. I mean, you can only show what you can show, but
kind of want to keep people guessing.
You got to want them to want for more. Like I always say that, like with Corey and Dennis last year. Those both, or Corey the first year and Dennis last year, it seemed like both those guys got done with their bike a lot sooner and just pocketed updates. So that way they were just kind of sprinkling it out there, but they were already putting miles on their bikes and, living the good life. So, like I said, if you guys want to see this thing in person, Born Free, Texas, October, I don't know.
Is it 15th, I think, somewhere in that
ballpark.
Yeah.
I think we hit the road on the 13th for the tour. And anybody at home is more than willing. I've gotten questions about it. Anyone can ride with us. You don't have to be on an FXR, and you don't have to be a builder or a friend of a builder. If you just want to join the tour and ride beside you.
Even just to hit a short leg.
Yeah, a lot of people did that last year, especially being up in like the St. Louis area. We had guys that would just go from St. Louis to Joplin, next morning wake up and go back to St. Louis. Right. So you don't have to do the whole thing. It's not an all or nothing. Just come out, have fun, see these bikes because he's got to ride this thing. This isn't just a show bike. This is a go bike. With the big 124 and...
It should do all right.
It's going to do... I think it'll do more than all right. So I'm going to get back on the road. Like I said, I think I'm not going to end the video here. I think I'm going to get home tomorrow, get that bike unloaded and detail it. Show you guys kind of what I'm working with, and then we'll end the video. So let me get driving. Let you get to working.
Back to metal finish.
Back to this. See you in Texas.
Scott,
if I don't see you before then.
Good to meet you, man.
Yep. All right, I know I said I was going to detail this bike and show it to you guys real quick, but yeah, that didn't happen. So, real quick, I'm filming from my phone, and I apologize for the shakiness of the footage when I was with Paul. I was trying to use the Sony, and I guess the stabilizer or whatever. I either need a gimbal for that thing, or I really need to take some time and dial that camera in, because I love the way the colors and everything looks on it compared to the GoPro, but man, the shaky background stuff drives me wild. So anyways, aside from that, it's been about a week and a half. I've had the bike here for a week and a half. I did start to detail a few things to kind of see where I'm at, but if you go to Adam Garley's Garley Garages YouTube, you'll see that he was actually in town, and I needed to send these rear fender struts off to him to have them powder coated in Texas, so I don't go through the whole debacle that I went through with the last bad boy. And while I was at it, the tanks. I took the tanks off, mailed those back to my father in Georgia. And there's another YouTube channel, Dom's Customs. He built a lot of really, really rad stuff, from sport bikes to big wheel baggers to little two-stroke, street bikes. I mean, he's got a huge, wide range of motorcycles and things that he's really into. I mean, he's a painter, he's a builder, he's a fabricator. I mean, he does it all. He's a one-man shop. And so he's got the tanks for this bike to fix the little chips that were in it. Yeah, so I just needed to get all that stuff off, get it mailed out, because this bike is just going to be a two-part video. So it's going to be this video of us picking it up, and then hopefully I have all the parts and I can get this entire bike back together, because my dad bought another one. He bought another bad boy, another 95 bad boy. Luckily, that bike, he's owned it before. It went to a cousin of mine up in Minnesota. He had it for 5 years, and we just need to change a few things, turn signals, pegs, clean it, go through it, service it, because I don't know when the last time the oil was changed, swap the exhaust. Just there's a handful of things that need to happen on that bike. So we're still waiting on the trucking company to final that whole thing, pick it up, bring it here. Then I can get started on my twin cam build, because I'm going to try to make it for the tour. I am going to try to make that bike for the tour, but we'll get into that in another episode. Let me turn this around real quick, show you what the bike looks like, the current condition, and kind of the plans or the things that I have, things that I've started doing, and why I've done what I've done. Well, my garage is a complete mess, so forgive me, but this is the condition of the bike. It's dirty, but it's not bad. I mean, if you take a good look at those head bolt covers, or not covers, the actual head bolts, they're super clean. Usually those things are very tarnished. I think this thing is going to clean up amazing. Now you see back here, the rear wheel, you got a little, you know, the seals there for the wheel seals are leaking a little bit, so we'll address that. But just how dirty the wheel is, let's come to this side. Ta-da! I've already cleaned this side, so I did kind of scrub it, just to kind of, not a full clean, just a quick, like, I wanted to make sure the wheel had no bubbles, no nothing, and this wheel is in actually really, really good shape. So started kind of cleaning that stuff up. On this side of the bike, I got the correct forward control already on there. I think I might have asked you guys to be on a lookout for a set of these, but I did find a set, good deal on a really clean set, still factory painted. I just had to touch up kind of a couple little marks on it. So I got one side on, but one thing I ran into, because this thing had forward controls, is this brake line's entirely too long. So now I'm gonna have to source the correct brake line, which goes all the way to where your brake light switches, and then still all the way back through to your brake caliper. So it's gonna be a little bit of a hunt for one of those, you know, a good clean one, because I did a quick scan, I couldn't find any NOS ones. If you look right here, this clutch cable is actually kind of an aftermarket, really thin. I don't like the way it looks. I don't like the way it was routed. So I actually found a NOS clutch cable. So we're gonna be replacing the clutch cable on this thing. So this is the kind of stuff that I'm doing. I'm just kind of going through the bike, seeing what I need. And that way, when I do the final episode of putting everything together, you guys aren't just waiting for multiple episodes. It'll just be a one and done. We'll get the tanks back. I'll show you the condition of those. I'm gonna roll this thing out in the next, I don't know, maybe the next few days. I'll get all this stuff really cleaned up. I'll get everything up here cleaned up. Same thing, bushings were kind of blown out on the shock, so I'm gonna put new bushings in those, clean all the springs, put the correct mirrors back on. What else we're gonna do to this thing? Lower it, obviously, fresh tires. Just kind of go through there. You know, I did a little cleaning on this front part, but I still gotta really get in there and clean some more. So it's gonna be a process, mostly detailing. Everything else on this bike is correct. I think I said it earlier, but this bike was not butchered at all. So it's very, very complete. Everything's there, and it's gonna make for a really nice bike when it's all said and done. And the next one that we're rolling in, same thing. It's gonna be super clean, and I think it's already sold, to be honest with you. We're kind of doing it to kind of help two people out. You know, Gene, that has my other 95, has been really on the hunt for another Evo Springer, whether it's a bad boy or just a Springer in general. So he's picking that one up. I think he's going to buy it. Pretty confident he's getting it. And we're going to just go through it real quick. Hopefully it's here while we're finishing this bike up and kind of show it off a little bit. Yeah, I just got to go through it, pull the fender off and everything to get the turn signals done. Front turn signals are currently on that bike. They're like, there's these little things that they used to make, or I guess they still make them, but put turn signals here. So I need to route them back to the top of the bars, and, you know, just all the same old. So I know it's not the most interesting kind of footage, but hopefully you guys are stoked on the outcome, the final product, as much as I am, because I love these things. I mean, these are just, they're iconic. I don't think there's anybody, honestly, that's into Harley Davidsons that wouldn't be stoked to have a bad boy in their garage, let alone two of them. And then hopefully, if everything goes right, my dad can find a 97 and have all three of them for one time in his life. Because he's had multiple times, he's had two, but he's never had one from each year. So that'll be super cool. So Yeah. So like I said, I'm going to try to finish this thing up ASAP. I think he wants to try to come out here in the next couple weeks to hand deliver the tins. We'll get those bolted on together and take this bike out for a ride. And then the other bike, same thing, try to get it a really quick turnaround. I don't know what the fully condition of that bike is, so I don't know exactly how much I'm gonna have to do on it. Hope you guys are enjoying this content. And then like I said, I am getting back on my twin cam FXR. It's been way too long on that thing, and I mean, it's really just come down to a money issue. And then obviously these bikes have really taken up a lot of time. Today, for instance, I mean, just trying to get the floorboards and everything off and figure out exactly what I need. I mean, I probably wasted, 30 to 45 minutes minimum, 30 to 45 minutes trying to figure out, like, can I reroute the brake line to work? If not, let me try to find it. So I got the part number, did a quick search, couldn't find it. So now I'm gonna have to do a deeper search. So that one part, removing, installing, looking up the part number, it's a process. So it's definitely taken a lot of time away from me getting this twin cam done, but I'm excited for it. I've got some more parts rolling in. I got some parts about to head out to get hopefully chromed. I'm just waiting on a few messages back for that. And if everything goes well, then yeah, we'll be back on that bike as soon as this thing's off the lift. With all that said, I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I look forward to you guys joining us on the next episode, which is probably still going to be this bike. And we'll see you on the next one. Y'all take care. Peace.